Las Vegas, Nevada, 1970. The Desert Inn Hotel and Casino, one of the most famous properties on the Strip. But the most famous thing about the Desert Inn isn't the casino. It's the man who lives on the top floor in the penthouse suite. The man nobody sees. Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes is 44 years old. Billionaire, aviation pioneer, film producer, one of the richest men in America, and one of the most paranoid. He bought the Desert Inn 3 years ago because he wanted complete privacy, total control. He lives in the penthouse, never leaves. Hasn't been outside in 3 years. Hughes has severe OCD, obsessed with germs, won't shake hands with anyone, won't touch door handles. Everything must be sanitized multiple times. Everyone who enters must follow strict protocols, wash hands, wear gloves, stand at specific distances. He's also paranoid about assassination, about government surveillance, armed guards at every entrance, recording equipment hidden throughout his penthouse. He documents everything, records every conversation. Hughes doesn't meet people anymore, hasn't in years, communicates through personal aides, through written memos. He runs his empire from complete isolation, makes billion-dollar decisions without seeing anyone. But sometimes, rarely, something interests him enough to break his isolation, to bring someone into his space, to test them personally. In 1970, someone mentions Bruce Lee to him, a Hollywood producer, one of Hughes' few remaining contacts. Howard, there's this martial artist, Chinese-American, Bruce Lee. He's going to be the next big thing. He knows personal protection, real combat principles, not just movie choreography. He could be useful for security consulting. Hughes is immediately skeptical. He's been told about experts before, people with special knowledge, who turned out to be frauds, disappointments, people wanting his money. But he's curious enough to investigate. He orders his staff to research Bruce Lee thoroughly. They bring film clips, magazine articles, demonstration footage from tournaments. Hughes watches everything, multiple times. His mind analyzes movements, looks for deception. Bruce Lee is fast, incredibly fast. The footage shows that clearly movements that seem impossible, 1-inch punch demonstrations, speed drills that blur on camera. But is it real, or is it choreography? Camera tricks? Editing? Hughes can't tell from footage alone. He needs to see it in person, needs to test it under his controlled conditions. He makes a decision. Bring him to the penthouse. I want to see if he's real. His head of security is Thomas Barrett, 50 years old, 6 feet 2 inches tall, 210 pounds, former CIA, 20 years in intelligence work, worked protection details for government officials in dangerous locations. Barrett knows real security, federal-level security, threat assessment, close protection. He's experienced. Subscribe. Turn on notifications, like the video, and comment. More true Bruce Lee stories are coming. Barrett is also deeply skeptical about martial arts, about kung fu. In his 20 years with the CIA, he's seen real violence, real combat. Real security is about firearms training, about surveillance systems, about protocols, not hand-to-hand combat, not fancy kicks, but he follows orders. And Howard Hughes has ordered this meeting. Barrett gets the call from Hughes' personal aide. The aide's voice is flat. Mr. Hughes wants Bruce Lee brought to the penthouse for evaluation, Thursday afternoon. 3 o'clock. You'll test him personally. Use your CIA training. Mr. Hughes needs verification. Barrett makes the arrangements, contacts Bruce Lee through his Hollywood agent. Professional, formal. Mr. Hughes would like to meet you. Private meeting, Desert Inn Penthouse, Thursday afternoon, 3 o'clock. Bruce is surprised. Howard Hughes, the reclusive billionaire? Nobody sees Howard Hughes anymore. What does Mr. Hughes want to discuss? Barrett's response is careful. Mr. Hughes is interested in your expertise, security consulting possibilities. He'd like to evaluate your capabilities personally. The meeting will be confidential. You'll be required to sign a non-disclosure agreement. Bruce accepts. He understands this is unusual, significant. Thursday arrives. Barrett picks up Bruce from his hotel in a black sedan, tinted windows. Professional driver. They drive to the Desert Inn, but not through the main entrance. Through a private service entrance. Loading dock area, away from public view, service elevator. As they ride up, Barrett explains the protocols. His voice is serious. Mr. Hughes has very specific requirements. When you enter his space, do not attempt to shake his hand. He doesn't shake hands with anyone. Stand at least 6 feet away from him at all times. Do not touch any surfaces. Do not reach into your pockets. Follow all instructions. Exactly. Mr. Hughes is extremely particular. Bruce nods. He's heard stories about Howard Hughes, the paranoia, the OCD, the isolation. He'll respect the protocols. The elevator reaches the penthouse floor. 2 armed security guards stand at attention. They check Barrett's credentials. Check Bruce's identification. Pat down for weapons. Security sweep. Then they open double doors into the penthouse. The space is enormous. Occupies the entire top floor, thousands of square feet. But it's dark. Very dark. Heavy blackout curtains drawn over every window. No natural light enters. Only dim artificial lighting. The air feels different. Filtered. Purified. Temperature controlled to exact specifications. Everything precise. And sitting in a large leather chair near the curtained windows, wearing white cotton gloves and a white bathrobe, is Howard Hughes. Bruce's first impression is shock. Hughes is thin, shockingly thin, almost skeletal. His face is gaunt, hollow cheeks, long hair that hasn't been properly cut in months, long fingernails, curved, strange, an untrimmed beard, patchy. He looks nothing like the dashing aviator from old photographs, but his eyes are completely different. Sharp, clear, penetrating, intelligent. The eyes of someone whose mind is still working perfectly. He's studying Bruce from across the room. Not standing, not approaching, just observing. Mr. Lee. His voice is quiet, but clear. Thank you for coming to see me. Bruce bows slightly. Stays exactly where Barrett indicated. 6 feet from Hughes. Mr. Hughes, it's an honor to meet you. Hughes nods slowly. I've been watching your demonstrations on film, reading about your philosophy. You claim to teach effective combat, real self-defense. Not performance. Is that accurate? Bruce nods. Yes, Mr. Hughes, that's completely accurate. What I teach is based on practical principles, designed to work in real situations, against real threats. Hughes leans forward slightly. I have the best security money can buy. Mr. Barrett here is former CIA. 20 years protecting high-value targets. What can Kung Fu offer that government training doesn't? Bruce chooses words carefully. Government training is excellent for what it's designed for. Structured scenarios, known patterns, but it's optimized for specific situations. What I teach works when those situations change. When threats are unexpected. When firearms aren't an option. When distance is eliminated. Hughes considers this. His fingers tap slowly on the chair arm. I'm concerned about close quarters threats. Someone who gets past my security. Too close for firearms. Can your Kung Fu handle that situation? Bruce nods confidently. Yes, Mr. Hughes, that's exactly what I train for. Hughes looks directly at Barrett. Tom, I want you to test him. Use your CIA training. Everything you learned, see if his Kung Fu works against what you know. I need to see this myself. Barrett looks uncomfortable, Mr. Hughes. I'm not certain. Hughes cuts him off. I need to know if this is real. 2 of Hughes' personal aides are present. Young men in suits, standing against the wall. They're always present, always documenting, taking notes on clipboards. Hughes never meets anyone without aides to document everything. And Hughes has something else. Hidden microphones throughout the penthouse. Recording equipment in a locked room, capturing every word. Hughes is obsessive about documentation. The system is running now. 4 witnesses, plus the recording that will remain sealed for decades. Barrett reluctantly agrees. Removes his suit jacket, hands it to one of the aides. Underneath, he's wearing a shoulder holster. He removes it, the weapon. Hands both to the aide. There's an open area in the penthouse. Barrett and Bruce move toward it. Hughes remains in his chair, watching. The aides watch, their pens moving on clipboards. The hidden recording captures everything. Barrett doesn't take a formal fighting stance. CIA combatives don't teach stances. They teach efficiency. He knows striking, grappling, disarmament. Everything designed for real situations. He looks at Bruce. Are you ready, Mr. Lee? Bruce nods calmly. I'm ready. Barrett moves without warning. Fast, professional, throws a straight punch directly toward Bruce's face. Efficient strike. Bruce's hand rises smoothly, intercepts Barrett's wrist mid-motion. Light contact, but firm. Redirects the trajectory. Barrett's fist passes Bruce's face by inches. Misses. Barrett's eyes register surprise. That was very fast. Barrett resets immediately. Throws a combination. Jab and cross. Bruce's hands move continuously. Deflecting the jab, redirecting the cross. Both punches miss. Barrett is starting to realize this guy is significantly faster than expected. Much faster than the film clips suggested. Barrett changes tactics, goes for control, reaches for Bruce's shoulder with both hands, trying to grab, use size, use strength. Bruce's body shifts, minimal movement. Barrett's hands close on empty air. Bruce has moved. Laterally, Bruce is now beside Barrett. Not in front. Barrett feels vulnerable. Wrong position. Barrett tries to reset. Turn. Re-establish. But Bruce's hand appears, touching Barrett's chest. Light pressure. Not striking, just touching, right over the heart, proving a point. In a real situation, that could have been anything. 16 seconds, from first contact to complete demonstration. Barrett steps back, breathing harder, not from physical exertion, from mental processing. This martial artist just controlled him, made all his attacks miss, demonstrated vulnerabilities without real force. Hughes hasn't moved from his chair, but his eyes are intense. He saw everything. Barrett walks back toward Hughes. Mr. Hughes, his voice is steady. His skills are legitimate. What he demonstrated works against CIA protocols. He controlled distance. Read my movements. I couldn't establish control. Hughes nods slowly. That's what I needed to know. He looks at Bruce. Mr. Lee, your skills are real, not performance. Bruce bows. Thank you, Mr. Hughes. Hughes continues. I'm interested in consulting services, training my security team, supplementing their federal training with your principles. Would you be willing to develop a program? Bruce considers. Yes, Mr. Hughes. I could design a training program. They discuss terms, compensation, timeline. Hughes has his aide take detailed notes. Everything documented. Everything recorded. After 30 minutes, the meeting concludes. Barrett escorts Bruce back to the elevator. In the elevator, descending, Barrett speaks quietly. Mr. Lee, everything that happens in Mr. Hughes' penthouse is confidential. You signed a non-disclosure agreement. That's serious, legally binding. Bruce nods. I understand. Barrett continues. Mr. Hughes records everything, audio equipment throughout. That means what happened today is on tape, but those recordings are sealed. Part of his private estate will never be released. Bruce understands. This meeting stays private. Ground floor. Barrett extends his hand. You're very skilled. I hope we work together. Bruce nods. Thank you. But the training program never happens. Bruce returns to Hong Kong shortly after. Enter the Dragon production begins. His career explodes. International stardom. The Hughes consulting fades. Forgotten. Hughes continues isolated, getting more paranoid. His health deteriorating. In 1976, 6 years after meeting Bruce, Howard Hughes dies on an aeroplane, being transported from Mexico, 70 years old, weighing 90 pounds. Hughes' death triggers massive legal battles. His estate worth billions, multiple wills, disputed claims, Among his possessions, thousands of hours of audio recordings, all sealed, part of estate proceedings. The recording of Bruce's meeting exists somewhere in those files, on tape, in storage, sealed by court order. The 4 witnesses signed NDAs that survived Hughes' death. Still binding. Thomas Barrett never spoke publicly about Hughes, died in 1995. The 2 aides never gave interviews, all died silent. Why hasn't the recording been released? Hughes's estate remains complicated. 50 years later, recordings are private materials. Executors have no reason to release them, just complications. So they stay sealed, unheard. What really happened in those 16 seconds? Bruce demonstrated that martial arts can neutralize federal training. Speed and understanding beat rigid protocols. Hughes got verification, filed it away, sealed forever. The story is about paranoia meeting practicality. A billionaire so obsessed with control, he tested everything personally. A martial artist proving skills privately. 4 witnesses keeping silence, and a recording locked away. Hughes spent his life documenting everything but releasing nothing. Perfect control. Record everything. Seal it away. Bruce proved himself to one man who mattered. Then walked away. No publicity. Professional discretion. The Desert Inn was demolished in 2004. Hughes' penthouse gone. Only recordings remain. Sealed. Inaccessible. Some demonstrations are private. Some proof is personal. Story ends in silence. In sealed files. In recordings nobody hears. Subscribe. Enable notifications. Like the video. And comment below which Bruce Lee moment surprised you most.